Hey everyone, this is CineEmi, and today I'm going to be doing my beginning of 2020 whips. So there are probably going to be a lot of jump cuts and stuff in this edit. I am going to try and, well, I'm not going to really try and go in an order. It's going to be which bag I can pull closest to me first. So this was closest to me because I literally just finished this week's homework for my crochet amigurumi class, and we started with the body. This is not a pattern on Ravelry, so I can't really link it below, but I can link the teacher who designed the pattern, and you can buy the giraffes from her. Hers are bigger because hers are in worsted weight. I can't really use acrylic yarn anymore because it gives me a rash now. Just the plastic, my skin is sensitive because I have eczema and stuff, so you know, this is cotton, it's bamboo pop and DK weight yarn. I'm doing this on size 3 millimeters. This is the body, so hopefully this neck is long enough. We're going to decide on Saturday when the next class is. I'm using a ton of my stitch markers and a couple of Lindsay of Simply Servings. Like hers this is where my hook goes, so this little gnome is keeping that there. This is my beginning of round, my little unicorn. And I'm using a Craft Like a Monkey Mortar's matte bag, and I just find this just so very cute and a good use of my stitch markers, because seriously, without these things I wouldn't know where I was, what I was doing. This is the only reason that I have not made a ton of mistakes. I mean, I made 1 or 2 mistakes, but you know, not stitch count wise. Because a couple of these are not the best looking, but oh, it's so cute, and I can't wait to finish the giraffe in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Alright, next up we have a knitted object that I don't really think I've shared before on Instagram. I might have once when it was like at the very early stages. This was not supposed to be, because I hate scarves, but the design that I have, if you watch a different video of mine where I get some mini skeins, which will be obvious in the picture. I don't know if it's going to be going up before or after this video. I'm shooting this before that video, but you never know with how long it takes to edit things. But I have a blanket planned that's going to be, if you know Sockmatician, Nathan Taylor, is coming out with a double knit brioche book, and I have a blanket pattern that I'm planning to design with double knit brioche. I'm going to actually put it up as brioche because most people would probably do the blanket in brioche, but I'm going to do it in double knit brioche. But I've only ever done double knit in the round. I've never done it flat. Turns out not that hard. So I had originally gotten a coaster pattern and gotten you know, just a skein of Cascade 220 in gray, and I think this is also Cascade yarn, but like I know the color is rainbow, but I'm not 100% sure what yarn it is, and if I move the bag everything will go out of focus, and I don't really want that. So it's now I had gotten them for a coaster, and the thing said coaster on it, but when I started knitting it was just maybe like an inch on each side smaller, and that was just way too big for a coaster, and I didn't really want to knit that big of a coaster. Even if it would have just ended up as a pot holder, I just couldn't do it. My conscience was weird. It was just like, you spent money on this yarn for coaster. Well, you spent more than you probably should have spent on a coaster, but I spent too much time in the yarn store and second guessed myself. So I was looking through double knit patterns, and I found my double knit book by Alistar Postquin. And at the very end of the book was a scarf that I just loved, but it wasn't in the book. And it was because I think the flat version or something was designed by someone else, and he did the double knit version. Not 100% sure about all that, but it was called I think, hold on, let me click over to the pattern. Victorian Raffia was is the pattern, and oh my word, I'm like only like 4 inches in, and it's gorgeous. I mean, if you see right here between Pluto and the little unicorn smoothie, that even though I made some mistakes, it's still gorgeous. It is by far one of the most gorgeous things I've ever made, and I haven't worked on it in a while because I need to finish some other things before I focus on this more. And those, like, near the end is when I will get to those, but this is going to be my dad's Christmas present, so it's not a big deal if I don't focus on this or not. But now that I've got the double knit flat, which if you look on my Ravelry, this is called DK Flat Practice Scarf. I don't even have a picture up of it yet because I don't think it's long enough to take a good picture. I mean, in my camera, it looks, well, actually it looks blown out because of my light, but you know, it's a lot better in person, but I don't think I can get a good picture of it at the moment. But it's just gorgeous, and I love being able to use so many of my stitch markers. But I love this, and I love how I love double knit because it looks the same yet different on the opposite side. And again, this color's Rainbow by Cascade. I think it's like Melania or something is the yarn. It starts with an M. And then this is Cascade 220 non-superwash in gray. I think the color's literally just gray. Oh, this is Cascade 220 in gray, Heather's 9491, and this is Cascade Yarns Melina, whatever, and it's in color 15 Rainbow. I love this so very much. It is just gorgeous. Alright, unlike the other pattern, I know for a fact I've never shared this because I would have tagged my fiber share friend from Germany. This is a pattern. I'm actually not doing it from this side. I'm doing it from the purl side. I was watching one of my, what is now Blueprint, but was a Craftsy class on Portuguese knitting, and the teacher, who I know her last name's Wong, she was talking about how much better the color work looks when you do it from the purl side. And she even had a class on how to do that, and I watched it and I was like, let me give it a try. And if you can see my floats, my color work is so much better. Like right now it's kind of scrunched up, and there are some mistakes, especially at the beginning when I was first learning, but I love this. I think I'm going to do all my color work on the purl side from now on. And this yarn I cannot pronounce because it's German. I know this is gold, but it has some words in German that I don't understand. And the maroony color is Darling, but it's Baby Sport. Other than that, I will have to link my Ravelry page where you can find what the yarn actually is called. But it's from a dyer in Germany, and it is so soft, and I just love it. I have not had a chance to work on it much because it was supposed to be just a little practice thing, and I've done it worked on it at doctor's offices and stuff, but I just haven't had the chance to work on it more. So once I get what will be, I think, my next project I'm going to show you, once I get that done, I'm going to focus on this before I can cast on anything that's not a design pattern that I'm working on, because once I finish my design socks I'm working on right now, I have another pair of socks I'm casting on. But the next project and this project have to be finished before I can start my mom's birthday present shawl. That was in the Scan Cocaine Trunk Show video. But this is just, ugh, I love it. It's just so pretty, and it actually looks really nice on camera. At least I think so. But I love it, and it's got my little narwhal, and this is gonna be for me because it was from my fiber share partner Danielle, and I just, you know, making something out of yarn that was sent with love. So yeah, it's called the Mystery of Light Cowl. One of my favorite projects ever, in one of my favorite bags that I have, by Twisted Yarn and Fiber Bags by Wanda. She's in my knit group. Actually, my other double knit project is in a Harry Potter Wizarding bag by Wanda too. They should be, if you go on my Instagram and find my projects, they're linked there, or if you go on my Ravelry, they should be linked there too. This is a Nathan Taylor double knit pattern. The thing about this is the hat, let me see, I think it's like the Reinvention hat. Yeah, Reinvention by Nathan Taylor, or Sockmatician. My little soldier. The thing about this is it's different on the inside than it is on the outside. And it's in Cascade 220 in Jade Green, Jade Heather, and Mallard is the blue color. I actually like the inside more than the outside because green is my favorite color, but the patterns are completely different. With this, what I did differently is, because I didn't know, like when I bought the pattern, it said that you needed worsted weight yarn, but inside the pattern, like on the Ravelry page, it said worsted. On the pattern, like on the actual pattern, it says that you need DK weight yarn. So I'd already bought yarn, but I love it. So basically, what my changes to this are: you're supposed to do 4 pattern section repeats, and I think I only have 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I only have 3 pattern repeats, and it fits my small head loosely, so it should fit my dad's big head quite nicely. And I love this. It's squishy and pretty, and the yarns, you can, I mean, they look lovely in the camera, but in person they just shine. I mean, just amazingly. And I need to get this done because it's my dad's birthday present, and his birthday is the very, very beginning of May. His birthday actually this year, I'm so glad it's not actually on Mother's Day, because it's so horrible when it's on Mother's Day, because Mom likes that day to herself. But yeah, so it's the day before Mother's Day this year, which means next year it will be on Mother's Day. So I also have to get Mom's Mother's Day present done. But yeah, so this I have to get done within the next couple weeks so that I can have it ready and not wet like his socks were for Christmas. And I'm just so excited. I think I only have maybe a couple more rows. I mean, in the camera, it looks big, but not big, but in person, it's like 4.5 inches, and I think I have like 2 more inches until I start the decreases. So I don't think I'm that far away from finishing this, even though it doesn't really look like it in the camera. In person, it definitely does look like it, but oh my word, this is beautiful. Oh, so pretty. Alright, this is in a Yarn Monster bag, one of her like denim or canvas, whatever it is, like you can't get it wet or something like that. And it's made in yarn from Webs. It's Shibui, which is very pilly. I think it's like Shibui Birch. Yeah, Birch in the color Graphite. This was the Hanover Knitters Guild 2019 knit along. I started it in July and have not knit on it since the very first week of August. I really need to get a, you know, start working on it, because it kind of, I only like worked on it for a week and it knit up really fast. So I really should work on it, but I had a shawl for Mom that I started, and it took over, and then Christmas knits just kind of took on a life of their own. I did a Judy's Magic cast on provisional cast on, which is my preferred provisional cast on, because I could just, you know, pick up and knit once I get to this end, and I don't have to pick up stitches. I can just start knitting. I'm using my signature needles in 4mm, and I love them, and I love this. I just, you know, other things have taken precedence. Once I finish Mom's birthday shawl in worsted weight, I'm going to finish this, because it needs to be done. It really does. It's like one of the softest things I've ever felt. But it's Building Blocks of Lace shawl. There are people in the group that finished like 2 or 3 of these in 1 year, and I only joined in like June, or no, July, I think, and I, you know, did not finish. I really should, because it's a gorgeous shawl. This is my Fern and Feather sweater. I really need to work on this. Most of the work that I did last year, I ended up pulling out because I was trying to use the wrong kind of needles on this. I thought if I did the sleeves now, I could just get Sleeve Island over with. I could not. So, yeah, this has been sitting too long. It you know, shows signs of, I stretched out this section by you know, doing the things and pulling it out. This is made in Cascade 220 Superwash. And I'm almost finished the body. I really should, you know, work on it. It's just that it got summer and hot, and it's almost it's spring now. I should work on this. So maybe got like 2 inches last year. I really need to work on this. Pulling it out just makes me feel very bad. Yeah, I'm gonna work on this. I don't know when, but I'm going to. I have had this shawl designed for like 2 years. And I've been working on it 2 years, but even though I like garter stitch, I like the way it looks, I like the way it feels, I do not like knitting garter stitch, which I should have taken into account when I was designing the pattern. But this is just so pretty that I can't frog it back and change the pattern. So, you know, I'm quite a ways into it. I really need to work on this. I might just need to make it like at the moment, my socks that are going to be shown later in my dad's beanie, I have like a certain amount of rows. Like the socks, I have to do 8 rows, which is 4 repeats of the pattern a day. So I might just make it a goal. I need to finish 4 rows on this a day, and which doesn't sound like a lot, but if I do 8 rows on the socks, which is actually 16 rows since I'm doing 2 at a time, 4 rows on this, you know, it'll slowly build up. Maybe every other day, and work on my Hanover Knitters Guild shawl. Yeah, once I get my dad's beanie done and the cowl done, I will be doing that, and work on my sweater. Just too many too many knits. I'm more of a monogamous knitter, or maybe not monogamous isn't the right word. I like maybe like 4 projects at a time that I can rotate. More than that, I start to get angsty and anxious, and my my anxiety just, oh, it picks up badly. So I just need to knit, just knit. Yeah, the light is really blowing out my stitch marker. These are my current favorite and my own pattern design. Yeah, my stitch marker is really blowing out. It's so pretty in person. Go on my Instagram if you want to see what this actually looks like. You can't tell this from the amount I have done, that these are my favorite and I've been working on them the most. But I had to rip back twice. I've only admitted to once to change the pattern because it's a rib pattern. I really like rib patterns because I feel like they fit better on my feet. I also like lace patterns, but they tend to get baggier faster. So these socks are called Tharizdun, the Chained Oblivion, which is a Dungeons and Dragons themed sock. It was inspired by the show Critical Role, from an episode that they did in November. And this is a Dungeons and Dragons themed yarn. So pattern, Dungeons and Dragons, yarn, Dungeons and Dragons, name, Dungeons and Dragons themed. This is the Raven Queen by the Chromatic Yarns, or Corner of Craft, Hannah. It was her October Knitical Roll colorway. I think it was October. Let's see. Winter's Crest. Do you spice? Raven Queen. Yeah, October. I think she might be coming out with more of this, or has come out with more of this. I do not know. I know she's come out with Gilmore's Glorious Goods last update, but it's all Dungeons and Dragons except for the bag. I really need to find a Dungeons and Dragons themed bag. If anyone has a Dungeons and Dragons themed bag, really would like it. This is my Fox Yarn Monster bag, and so I've got a little, snowflake and a little St. Patrick's Day charm. I really like this pattern. It fits my leg nicely, like it cups it nicely. I did a rolled over cuff, which is why when I frogged, I had to frog all the way back when I changed the pattern. It's a little higgledy-piggledy looking because I frogged it twice, and BFL yarn apparently does not like to be frogged. Once I block it, it'll look a lot nicer, but it looked a lot nicer before it was frogged. I'm 4 inches into it, and I'm thinking of going 5.5 before I go to the heel. And then once I do the heel and start the gusset, I'm gonna call for test knitters, because most people do them one at a time. So I'm guessing by the time someone finishes both socks, I will have finished both socks, but like in the time period I would have only knit the foot. I love this pattern. It looks like chains. I did the pattern, I did a lot of math. And I tried to make it so that there was a knit stitch on both ends. If people do it on a circular, like a 9-inch circ or something, I actually have a different pattern. Well, same pattern but different way, so that they don't have to worry about the knit on each end. So that's nice for them. But if you're doing it on 2 circs or DPN, well, DPNs is different. I wrote it for Magic Loop or 2 circs, but I'm pretty sure someone on DPNs can change the pattern themselves. I don't need to do everything. But I've done a ton of math and changed the pattern like 6 times, and now I love it. It's very memorizable, and I love these socks so much, and I love the yarn. The colors just make me happy. Even though blue is not my favorite color and gray is not my favorite color, the meaning behind the yarn makes me happy. The meaning behind the sock makes me happy. The meaning behind the charms makes me happy. Just everything about this makes me happy, and I'm so excited for my for this to come out. I just am really excited. Well, this has been my 2020 whips that I have currently, beginning of the year whips. Hopefully by the end of the year, all of these will be off my needles. But knowing me, probably not going to happen.